Man, how are you?
Awesome. I'm doing great. Thank you. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you. I think we can get started, right? Are you
Yeah,
ready?
go for it. Let's do this.
Awesome. Dude, I was super excited since I started doing this with my coach, this guy, 21-year-old. The idea just popped. What can I do to build this personal brand and get more people to know about the things that I and you guys do, everybody that I bring on. So first and foremost, I just want to talk how I got to meet you. I met you through Fabiana Ferrer, your wife,
Hmm.
at a Venture Cafe, which everybody that's watching, that's a shout out to Venture Cafe, a networking space. Before the pandemic, it was great just showing up there and meeting people with a lot of influence in different industries, but now that's not possible, but they do it still online. So everybody that's watching this recording is welcome to check it out. And then when I started talking about the things that I wanted to do with the finances and kind of get to teach people about some things that I was learning at the time, that I was studying banking, and I learned some pretty good and some bad, a mix of everything. And that caught my attention, and I said, "Wow, these are things that everybody should be learning about." That wasn't happening. And well, I stood up and I shared how I went to Africa because of NIA project. And then after I did that talk, what I wanted to do, Fabi came up to me and said, "Hey, I see, I guess she saw something in me," and approached me and just offered me to go to her office. I think it was the next day, and that's
Uh-huh.
where I met you. That's where I met you. And I was a little nervous when I met you, but I saw someone very genuine, very transparent, and we started talking about investments and life insurance and other things. So now I want to give you a mic and let you introduce yourself.
Sure, man. I appreciate it, Adolfo. I mean, you're doing some big things, bro. The person that you've become in the process. I think there's people that take the pandemic and they say, "Whoa, it's me," but you said, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna take this opportunity to make sure that I get better and I grow." So a little bit about me, man. I was born and raised in Miami, Florida. I'm a native here, 31 years old. I know I don't look it, but born and raised down here. Pretty much all my life, I've always wanted to do something special with it. Like most people when we're kids, we want to be an athlete or a rock star or a movie star. I wanted to be a professional football player. You can't tell on camera, but I'm 5'6", about a buck 80. So I'm not going anywhere like that. But always wanted to have something for myself. My mom and dad actually passed away when I was a baby. I was 5 months old, and I lost them in a car accident. So my life wasn't what people look at now. Like they see I'm happy, and I've always been like that. But I've always had that void that I needed to fill, where I wanted to do something special. I wanted to be able to impact people. And man, I something happened. Like I know we talk about this, Adolfo, where over time we stopped believing in our goals and dreams. That's why our team agency name is the Dream Builders. And man, I went through middle school, had big goals, and then high school. I don't know what happened. I kind of started working a little bit, and I stopped believing in the possibilities. And I went to college, like I know
Yeah.
you went to college and stuff. And then I started to realize like maybe college wasn't the route that's going to take me where I want to go. And nothing wrong with those people that are listening to college. That's how I met my wife. A big reason why we found out about Venture Cafe was through college. And that's how we met you. But I ended up finding that, what they're teaching us in school isn't really what's helping people build wealth. My mom and dad, like I said, they passed away, they left nothing. And the biggest thing that you could learn in school, obviously, is how to deal with people and people skills, but they're not teaching about money.
Yeah.
So I mean, it took me 6 years, 2 degrees to realize that a college education is going to get you to know things, right? You're going to have a certain amount of knowledge, but I mean, it's not stuff that you can actually help you build wealth. You can use it, until you uncover an opportunity to do so. But we found out that we had to find a system. We had to find people, great people, building a team. And I got introduced to a mentor, took me under his wing, showed me the ropes. The guy, I mean, I had my master's degree, right? Don't let that fool you. Fabi's the one with both degrees. But this guy had his GED, so he was making at that point, 4 or 5 times what I would be making. So you could do the math as
Yeah.
a college. admin or a college advisor. So man, I just said I'm doing things wrong. So I looked into more into the business. I looked at the licensing involved. I saw it was a big industry. Saw there was a big need. And 6 months before graduating, I decided to take it. I decided to get in, get licensed, kind of like we spoke about. And the rest is history, man. We right now we're excited about where we're heading. We're excited about technology, using Zoom like you are. And man, just fired up. I appreciate you bringing me on here.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's dive a little bit more about your story before we jump into the juicy stuff. How was that? What was that turning point in college? Did someone talk to you about making more money? Was it your difficulty, within your family? What was that event?
Yeah, well, I've always had to work, you know. I wasn't that child that had money where my parents paid for all my school, and I wasn't that. I mean, I was always good with schoolwork. Like I do great in schoolwork. I mean, everybody can know now. I'd probably cheat
Yeah.
and stuff. I'd ask my friends for answers. You know, yeah, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, Adolfo. You're
Yeah,
actually,
absolutely, man. We
you
got
know.
computers now. You guys had libraries.
Yeah, yeah, you know, so I'd ask people for help, you know, and didn't get accepted to college. But I was that person that said, hey, you know what? If I can work hard for something, I know if I put my mind to anything, our mind's super powerful. I can get it accomplished. So I ended up getting into school, and I went to school, got a bachelor's degree, worked a couple of jobs, wasn't really happy. So I said, hey, you know what? Like we've been sold the idea, go back to school, you know, get another degree, right? Maybe you're gonna find your passion, like they say. And man, 6 months before graduating, I decided to take a different route. I was looking at my people that were, you know, above me, that were my bosses and stuff. And I was looking, I was like, I mean, if that's what I'm heading, is that if I keep on in the route that I'm doing or that I'm going, and if I'm going to head to that, I don't really want so much of that. So I decided to reach out to the gentleman that introduced me to this industry. And I said, man, I'm 6 months from graduating with a master's degree. I'm scared to death about going to work for somebody. I don't want that life. You know, I don't want the 9 to 5, the having to, you know, if you want to make more money, you got to give up more time. I'm willing to work, you know, and I know a lot of people probably that are listening to, that are going to be listening to this, like they're willing to work, right? It's not the work ethic
Yeah,
that's the problem. It's just that they have the wrong system. So I saw, man, the system is just not, it's not made right. It's made for very few people to succeed, and the ones that do, they're thinking out of the box. You know,
yeah,
so I
absolutely.
decided to change what I was doing. I figured, hey, education is great. I'm not saying don't go to school, right? You can meet a great people, you can learn a lot of things, but self education is what's really out there. So I decided to just start focusing on ways where I can get better as a person, and that's what made me change my mind, man. I just started looking at, like I said, just looking at where I was heading, look at the people that I was working with, and I didn't want their life. You know, so
Gotcha.
that's kind of the turning point for me.
Gotcha. It was a series of events, all adding up, and you realizing, heck, this is not what I want. Most people, I think we all have these events, but for some reason, whether it's fear of failure, fear of success, or fear of the work, sometimes I face it myself. I can tell you that I wish I could have taken more actions earlier. I'm 20, but I think we all want to go back in time, knowing the things that we know now and doing things earlier, right?
Oh, for
So
sure.
when it comes to uh, what you do, most people, I think this is why most people also, I'm part of that, uh, talking to new people, getting to networking events, getting to that network phase of your life. Being in school is easy, in my opinion. You get the work done, the school assignments, you learn, take a test, and you can forget about 80% of the information the next day. But when it comes to networking, what's been your experience? I mean, with your story being said, I assume your family was not the biggest, or you can share a little bit about that and how to get
Yeah,
out of the
yeah,
box.
sure. Actually, so people think, I mean, the person that I am today, I'm a product of the environment and just wanting to grow and learn. I was never the guy in the front of the room that can talk to a big room and lead a crowd. I actually hated the whole idea of networking events, made me super uncomfortable. Meeting people, new people, super uncomfortable, Adolfo. you know? And I think like in your case, I know when I met you, I mean, it was almost like you wanted to grow, you wanted to learn, and you wanted to be that person that gets uncomfortable, you know? I don't think anybody's really so much born with it. I think it's
No.
something that's learned, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I did have a big family. I do have a big family.
Okay.
But like, you know how it is, man, in business, family's only going to take you so far.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Because they know you what you were before. They know, you know, I mean, I was a punk. I had braids, gold teeth. You know, the guy I am today is a product of how I've grown. So they know me. They know the jokes. They know that I was always late everywhere, never serious about anything. So I ended up having like you, like, I mean, how we met you. We met you out and about. We had a conversation with you. We found out about what you wanted. And I think if there's anything that we can learn from that experience is if you genuinely care about people and you kind of find out, hey, how can I serve you? How can I help you? Eventually people will ask you in return, hey, you know, what do you do, by the way?
Mhm.
You know, how can I help you? So I think like you mentioned, that networking, family's going to take you so far in business, but networking and getting your name out there is going to really take you over the edge.
Gotcha. Absolutely. So awesome. I mean, it was these steps that you were taking that got you to where you're at right now. You're a six-figure earner. That's wonderful, man. I met you just a little bit before last year. Actually, it's been a year
Yeah.
since I met you, and you came to my house. I mean, I introduced you to my entire family, and they felt comfortable with you. Can you talk to me a little bit about what do you think you could have done earlier? You know, that me as a giving yourself an advice as a 20 or you know before 18-year-old.
Oh man, there's so many things that I could say, but I
Drop
guess
it,
if I
drop it.
focus just on three things, I guess number one would be I would associate with people that are higher income earners.
Okay.
You know, there's a saying out there: if you take your five friends and you divide their income, that's going to tell you exactly what you earn. So what happens is we're a little bit uncomfortable to speaking with people who earn more income. They make us uncomfortable, but I mean, people who earn high income, they were once where we were at before. You know, they were scared, they were nervous, and I mean, they're great people. Sometimes we get the stigma where I used to think, I don't know if people that are listening or that are going to be listening to this can relate, where hey, this
Sure.
person makes a lot of money, so they're not approachable, right? A doctor or a lawyer, it's like, man, you know, oof, you know, they got all these degrees, but they're human, man. They have fears, they have doubts. So I'd probably associate myself and be genuine, be me, not try to be somebody else with them. And they're people, you know. I think people that earn high income, a big reason why they're there is because they have people skills. So that'd be number one. I think, you know, associate myself
Mm-hmm.
with people who earn more income, right? To raise my level of
Absolutely.
belief that it's possible. Number two would be I would really read more. You know, if I can talk to myself, the 18, 19-year-old that never read a book, man, I got a bachelor's degree and a master's degree, though, okay? That shows you, okay, without reading a whole book. Okay. I've never read a book through college, right? I started reading after when I got into entrepreneurship. I'd read more, but I'd choose what I'm reading. I'd read more about money. I'd read more about wealth. I'd read books like Think and Grow Rich, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, because those kind of things we're not, I mean, we both come from a very humble beginning. Our families they didn't say, hey, here you go. You know, you're a trust fund baby. So our mindset's very different with how we're raised. And then number three is I would be looking at getting uncomfortable. You
Okay.
know, I'd find ways where I can get uncomfortable. You know, like speaking to people, building relationships that made me uncomfortable. So I would probably do more of that, man. Like I said, I associate with people that make more money. I'd read more books, right, on money, right, on wealth, because there's a bunch of books out there. There's
Yeah,
just not enough
absolutely.
reading. You know, and then number three is I'd focus on running towards comfort versus towards being uncomfortable
Uncomfortable.
versus being comfortable.
Got you. So I think being uncomfortable, you know, I've heard it a lot. I don't know about the people that are listening, probably not, or probably yes. But what's the best advice to, you know, uh, get uncomfortable? Just do it.
Yeah, that's great. So I think you got to look at comfort and being uncomfortable as two different things.
Hmm.
Okay, because I mean I think it doesn't change for our mind. I guess what we need to focus more on is the result. You know, if we focus more on the result that we want to have, like if you're going to the gym, nobody likes working out. I don't care if you're like ripped and shredded. Nobody likes working out. They like the result of it.
Right.
You know, nobody likes to go to school for 6 years, not making any money, 10 years, 12 years, or to be a doctor, whatever it is they want to be, but they like the result. So I
Yeah.
think if people can focus more on not like, hey, I'm in my zone, I'm comfortable. If they can look at, hey, if I get uncomfortable for, this amount of time or for to do this, I can get this result and really hone in on the result. Being uncomfortable starts to become comfortable and it becomes the norm.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's the serious. It becomes a habit, like we talked about the
Yeah,
book Atomic
absolutely.
Habits. Perfect. All right, I think we can get to talk about your work as a life insurance agent, as an investment uh, help servant. What
Yeah.
do you call yourself in that sense?
Well, man, I mean, we're hope dealer, I guess if you want to call it, right?
Awesome. I
Everything's
love
legal. You got to be
it.
licensed, okay? But man, what we do is we help families with different areas. We help them with planning for the future. Teaching them about money and finance, helping them save money in insurances, save money in taxes, get out of the debt faster, and invest for the future. And the biggest thing that my wife and I have dedicated our lives to is help people start believing again.
Awesome.
Believing in their goals and dreams, that there's a way out there where they don't have to do the whole school route. They can still do that.
Hmm.
But there is another way where you can be genuinely you. You don't have to be something else. Grow as a person, and you can follow a system that can help you build a dream life.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to give you a quick shout out here with Jennifer and Manuel, when I introduced you, I know I handed him to you and I got off. But when I went back to them and Manuel had, he had a smile on his face when he told me, Adolfo, we're just, killing the debt. The credit cards are going off. That made me excited, it made me feel good because I knew that I placed, I felt like a bridge, putting.
Yeah, you connected them, man. I mean, and people have so much knowledge, but they're just afraid. Like you weren't afraid to speak to somebody and share the blessing, right? You have knowledge, you have information. It's so easy to say, man, I don't want them to think that I'm trying to sell them something, which is that
Yeah,
stigma that we get. But you decided to share, and look, from that, I mean, they're going to be out of debt sooner. They're excited, and they like you a little bit more now, man.
I think so. Thanks to you. Let's talk
Yeah.
about that stigma of sales. I think I want to get into sales so bad. Clean up the noise around sales.
Oh man, dude. So I think what happens is people look at there's two types of sales.
Hmm.
All right, and look, if you're a car salesman, power to you, right? I did a little bit of that in the past, and I'd never been like that pushy salesperson because I don't like to be sold, right?
Hmm.
Like, good luck
Nobody,
if
I
you're
think.
trying to sell me. I got to tell you, I'm ready to go because I'm not going to say yes. I want to think about it, right? So I think the stigma comes from that. Hey, I got to get people to buy something that they don't want. I'm going to convince them to buy it, right? That's a pushy type sales. That's what people look in their mind like. So I'm not a good salesperson.
Right.
Well, first off, nobody's born, and they come out of their parents' womb, and then they say, "Hey, this person's going to be a great salesperson, Adolfo. I know it, right?" No, it's learned. So I think the stigma needs to change. Where this is a profession where it's producing more 6-7 figure earners, right, than
Yeah.
anything, more than any degree. People that are able to sell, and it's not just selling a product, selling themselves.
Right.
You look at influencers, right? You look at people that have a huge followings. What they're really selling is they're selling themselves.
Yep.
So the stigma of sales, I think if you're not in sales, it's going to really push you behind, because you're going to get somebody else that's selling is going to get paid more. And then you're just kind of processing. Sales is more creation, like your ability to get something out there. And if you want to make high income, if you want to, build something that runs without you, you got to learn sales. So
Yeah.
looking at it like a positive thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing that has worked a little bit for me is that I think every sell or every attempt to make a sell that I do, I see it as a job interview, and I felt good going into job interviews, showing up with my resume and looking all sharp and stuff. But when you see it that you're making a sell to bring your profit right away instead of having to get that you're accepted to the job, 40 hours, and you get your paycheck. I think that has helped me a lot. So if that helps anybody here, I think that's a good approach.
Yeah, that's
um,
great, man.
More than selling, a personal problem that I've been having is closing. Selling, I think a lot of people can do it after they get comfortable just repeating the script or saying whatever they got to say, right? But closing is a tough spot. What can you
Okay,
share
so
about that?
I love it, man. So closing, picking up the check, right? Getting somebody to move forward.
Yeah.
I think the thing that you don't have to be really great at sales to get someone to move forward. You got to be really convinced that what you're offering that person can help change their life, right? With whatever it is, right? Like this cell phone right here. If
Mm-hmm.
I really know that this cell phone's going to make a change, if somebody has an Android, right? I'm an Apple person. People might not
Yeah.
like that. But I know, hey, if you get an iPhone, okay, good. iPhone. That's maybe they can sponsor us, Apple and stuff
Yeah,
after this.
next
But
time we'll
if
have
I
it.
really think that this person needs to upgrade their phone to an iPhone, then hey, you know what? I'm going to do everything possible because I know it can make a change in their business, make a change in how they do things, how they operate. I'm convinced, right? Not so much I'm going to sell you. I'm convinced that my service, my product is going to improve upon your situation until you're convinced, right? And closing doesn't always happen in the first time,
Mm-hmm.
right? Sometimes people will see if you really believe in what you're offering. And they say it takes about 7 touches, right? Between the first connection, 7 times you trying to pitch or you trying to reach out to somebody before you can go ahead and close them. So I think it would be confidence in what you're offering, really see what's out there, see what's the competition, see what separates you. You're the biggest reason too. A lot of the time, if you're selling something, people have you versus with another company, they have other things, and really going out and attempting. So
Awesome.
belief and attempting to go ask more than one time.
Awesome. Love it. I think that's enough. We're gonna keep it short. Just to recap, share one more time what you do, how do you help people, and what's your passion, with that.
Perfect, man. So like I said, we're a financial services agency. We license and train people, okay, to help families in the area of finance. So we get people licensed, like we allow people to start with us part-time in their off hours. They can work as little as they want, as much as they want. And what we're looking for is 2 types of people, actually 3. People that love what they do. They just want to make extra income, right? That's number 1. Number 2, people who hate what they do, they want a way out. And people, number 3, who are dreamers, right? They got a dream, but they don't have a way to get there, right? Like, kind of dream builders. Just they want a way to be able to get to their goals and dreams, and we can help them with the system as long as they're willing to get a license that we sponsor. We'll teach them, and we'll show them how to get there.
Awesome. Love it. So where can people find out more about you, what you offer, everything about you?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're well connected, Adolfo. If you want,
Yeah.
you can message Adolfo. He knows how to reach me. If you want to, I mean, if you heard from us through this interview, if you could just let me know, that way I know you're coming through Adolfo,
Wonderful.
through the interview, because this is great. Just kind of, I appreciate you doing this, to share this with people. But you can look me up at and Instagram. It's Alex V Barrientos, Alex Alex V Barrientos, B as in boy, ARRIENTOS, and you'll find me. I'm public on Instagram, or Facebook. You can look me up, Alex Barrientos. You'll see, me smiling with my wife, or even LinkedIn. You'll find me there too. I'm really easy to be found. If you can't find me, look up Adolfo.
Perfect. We're
And
gonna have the
if
links
you're here
below
in this.
anyway. That's
Oh,
gonna
cool.
be,
Okay, sweet.
yeah.
So you know what? Look at the link down here, and you can click it. Like I said, just let me know that you heard about me through or us through Adolfo, because that just shows that we're getting the name out there. We're not just seeing this knowledge and not sharing it. We're actually going out and showing other people about what we do.
Perfect. Hey, Alex, I'm just grateful, man. I had to get ready before doing this interview because I wanted to come with the best energy, and I know you always have that energy. So I
Okay, you did
appreciate it. I
awesome, man. I'm
appreciate your
excited.
time.
I'm excited about what I know you have a bunch of lineup guest speakers and stuff.
Yeah.
And look, if you're listening, guys, on this, just make sure you jump on, because you never know who's going to mention something that can just make that click for you.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
appreciate it, man.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day. Okay.
You too, man. Kill it.
Bye.